from Chito Vera to this guy who's not Anthony Smith. You have a full head of hair. You are the champion of the world. What you got there? A little protein shake, Tom?
No, just a can, mate. Just a can. That's just water. It's actually a can of water. They're. I'm not going to shout them out because they've not officially sponsored me, but they did send me some free shit, so I appreciate it.
You've gone woke.
I definitely have. I'm aware of my financial situation, so. You know what I mean. You got to watch out.
The financial situation is good these days, I'm assuming.
It's better than it was. It's definitely better than it was, yeah.
No, good for you, mate. Good for you. No, the reason I said woke is because, we should all be cutting down on our plastics, and I'm sure this isn't what you're here to talk about. But anytime I mention that, I remember I put a tweet out. I was in Singapore, and it just dawned on me one day. I hadn't seen one plastic bottle. I said, look at this. I said, only glass bottles. I said, that's great. Everyone came after me and said, you're woke, you prick, piss off back to England and all the rest of it. How do you feel about the single-use plastic consumption, Tom?
Never thought about it, to be honest with you, Mike. Never crossed my mind.
I know. We've gone off on a ridiculous tangent. We'll be going on a ridiculous... Look at that, giving a little flex. Come on, sorry, Tom, give us a flex.
I just finished training. Give us a double flex. I'm a bit pumped. I've just done a bit of weights. I'm a bit pumped at the minute. I feel good.
There it is. Looking good, mate. Looking good. Are you a guy that's training all the time? There's not really an off season for you?
Yeah, mate. After my fight, I had a week off. And it was a push for me to have a week off, to be honest. I start going insane if I can't train for too long. I need to train. I'm just one of them guys. I've got to be in the gym every day, twice a day. And I'm training all the time, mate.
In the words of the famous Conor McGregor, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. And I'm aware my next fight is probably going to be a while away. Do you know what I mean? I've had 2 fights in 4 months, so it's quite a lot for someone, a heavyweight at the top of the division. But what else am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? Sit at home all day. I might as well do something productive. And, as we spoke about many times, Mike, me and you, on camera and off camera, I'm trying to be the best heavyweight that's ever walked the face of the earth. I'm not going to do that sat at home watching TV. So I'm back after it, mate. I'm hungry and I'm in the gym twice a day. I train twice a day. So feeling good, mate.
Yeah, good for you, mate. It's got to be a lifestyle. And that's why you're able to take on fights against people like Sergei Pavlovich on 2 weeks' notice. Now that the dust has settled, and what a performance, by the way, and we haven't spoken to you on the show again, so congratulations. I'm sure all the believers and everyone watching feels the same. That was an unbelievable moment, Tom. It really was. And I've kissed your ass non-stop about it, so I don't want to make people feel sick about it. So I'm not going to go on about it. Okay. But let's just say you didn't land that punch at 67 seconds and it went into the later rounds. How was the fitness? Let's be honest.
To be honest, I think I could have done 5 rounds.
Right.
Yeah, I would have been fine. I would have been absolutely fine, mate. There's something, I don't want to blow my cover here, but I do have a secret weapon that only my training partners are aware of. And I get better, mate, as the rounds go on. I'm not very good early on, to be honest. I'm much better as the rounds go on. I've got really, really good conditioning. I pride myself on my conditioning and how I maintain it all year round. And it's just something that I've not had the opportunity to show yet. So it would have been a nice surprise for everyone. But if you can take them 1 minute knockout wins, obviously you're going to take them.
100%. And you're right, though. Again, not kissing your backside. We haven't seen you cardio tested. We haven't seen you in the 3rd round. We haven't seen you at the end of the 2nd round. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to the day when Tom Aspinall gets tested. What happens? It's all well and good being the hammer. Sometimes you got to be able to be the nail, Tom. Can you be a nail? Can you take a licking and keep on ticking?
Well, I've done it in quite a few of my earlier fights. I do it every day in the gym, and that's all I can do, really. Do you know what I mean? Prepare the best that I can. Ask anyone I've ever trained with. I'm constantly starting in bad positions, constantly seeking out the best training partners who can give me a rough time in the gym. I'm not one of them guys who likes to be comfortable. I like to push myself constantly. So I do it well in the gym, and I've done it well in other fights. So I think I'll be fine.
Of course. And I'm only teasing you. Now, we know you can do well in front of a big crowd, in an octagon, almost naked, with 4-ounce gloves on. But how do you do well in a big crowd with a microphone in your hand, talking about Tales from the Octagon 2, which is coming up in a couple of weeks?
Well, we're going to find out, mate, aren't we? We've got Tales from the Octagon 2 coming up. 2 nights, one in London, one in Manchester. Very excited about it, mate. obviously spend time with my friends, you and Paul Craig as well, which is going to be a fun time. And I think that's going to reflect on stage and off stage. I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's going to be a great event. Obviously, I went to the last one that you did in Manchester, and mate, it was an epic night. I can't wait to. I'm honoured that you've asked me to be part of it. I'm really excited for it.
You know what, Tom? To be honest, you were the first one I thought of, because the promoter came to me and said, we've got an idea. Why don't you and some friends come on stage? You know, who do you think? Who would you like? And of course, I do a podcast with Anthony, but the cheap bastards, they didn't want to fly people international. And I'm like, well, Tom, it's got to be Tom. And then on top of that, then you go out and you become champion of the goddamn world in the interim. I mean, whoa. Pardon the pun. You become champion of the goddamn world. It's worked out absolutely perfect. But what do you want to drink on stage? That's the real question, Tom. Because we will be having a little boozer. We will be having a couple of drinks. We'll be loosening up. There's going to be a big crowd. You might get nervous. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of people. They want to hear from the champ.
I'll be all right with it, mate. Public speaking, I can do it with my eyes closed. Absolutely no issues, that for me. But I'll definitely be having a few drinks. I don't mind a rum, you know. I'm a bit of a rum guy.
Are you a fancy rum guy? Because I've got to put the list in. What do you want? What's your favourite rum?
Any dark rum is good for me. Any dark rum, just put that down. I'm good to go.
But what do you buy? Because I don't drink rum. I've never bought a rum in my life.
Just any.
What would you go for? If you were walking into the off license and you had to buy some rum, what would be the choice? What would be the rum of choice for the interim, for the champion? Never mind the fucking interim. Never mind that. What would be the rum of choice for the champ?
I'm not sure, you know. Just any they've got. Any they've got. Captain Morgan's pretty good. Captain Morgan's all right. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of that. Any. They're all the same, aren't they?
A spiced Captain Morgan?
Yeah, spiced. Yeah, I like a bit of that. But I'm not fussy, mate. I'll drink whatever.
With a little bit of ginger ale?
No, I've never had it with that.
It's meant to be good, you know.
That's good, is it?
That's what Adam Catchell drinks. And he got John. You know, John, my editor. They got John on it. John was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, John.
Yeah, all right. Well, if John's on it, then is John coming, by the way? Is John going to that?
John's coming. He's going to be filming some behind-the-scenes stuff. You and John go way back. You two are mates.
We're like that, mate. Me and John, we're absolutely like that, yeah. Top guy.
Oh, dear. Mate, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be fun. You love a bit of karaoke as well, don't you, Tom?
I've done it in the past, but I'm not doing it on that. No chance. Hey, I've got a family of friends coming and cameras and all kinds.
I'm trying to talk him into it. For anyone that doesn't know.
I know you asked me in New York, and I was getting a bit cocky there and said that I'd do it, but I'm backing out of it. There's no chance I'm doing it. We get Paul Craig on it. Paul Craig will be up for it, won't he?
That'd be amazing, right? It's gonna be a sold out crowd. People are gonna love it. We're gonna be having fun, games. We got some Q&As. I've got some forfeits for you, though. I'm gonna have some questions, and if you get it wrong, we're gonna spin a wheel. You know what I mean? And if you, you know, I don't know what the forfeits are going to be, but they're going to be, you know, you might have to down a pint of lager. You might have to shrimp across the stage. You might have to do a little dance for us, Tom. I don't know what it's going to be. That all sounds terrible, but we're going to come up with it. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. But you did say you would sing. What a way to close out the night. Tom takes the microphone. What's your walkout music? Generally not Alien in Englishman in New York.
It's usually like Curtis Mayfield, Move On Up. It's a great song, mate. I can't ruin it. I'm not ruining it publicly. No chance.
No, fair enough. I can't wait though, mate. And again, thank you, mate. Thank you. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And you and Paul, it's going to be a good time. You know, you just said something a minute ago before we got into that. You were talking about you think it's going to be a while before your next fight. Why do you think that?
No, it's not that I think it's going to be a while, but it's not going to be like a year or anything like that. It's just the way that the fights go at the top, innit? They're not coming around every 2-3 months like they are when you kind of climbing the ladder. They tend to go slower, especially at heavyweight. So, mate, who knows though? I was saying it was going to be a while after I fought Tibora in July, and then I fought again in November. So, quick turnaround there. Who knows, mate? That's why I stay in the gym. I never like to be like 3 or 4 weeks away from like peak fitness. So I'll be staying in the gym, mate, ready, and I'll be ready to take fights whenever.
Now, we had this conversation on the YouTube channel a while ago, but have you heard anything from the UFC? Have you heard anything about, I'm not talking about opponents, and I don't expect you to divulge any secrets or anything that's off the record or private, but have you heard that you are going to be defending the interim, anything like that?
Nothing is what I've heard.
Nothing.
Zero.
Right.
Zero.
Okay.
And I'm not expecting to hear anything, to be honest. Until after Christmas, mate, it's probably all going to go quiet for me. So I'll just be enjoying a bit of time, like you say, on the stage, having a couple of beers, meeting up with you over Christmas and that, and spending time with the family and friends and doing all that. I'll just be... But like I said, I'll still be in the gym. I'll be in the gym twice a day. I'll be working hard, and I've got goals to achieve.
Are you going to put me through my paces, Tom? If I come over on Saturday, I'll show you a few bits and bats if you want it.
See, the thing is with you, Mike,
don't come on my show and fucking abuse me.
You still think you can take me. I know deep down you think you can take me.
Tom,
you are looking good. When I seen you in New York, you were looking in good shape, mate. So fair play.
Mate, I don't think I can take it. I think you would pick me up, slam me on my fucking head, and you'd do it with a beer in your hand or a can of water, because he's all woke these days. Mate, I don't think that at all. Listen, I recognize greatness when I see it, and that's why I've been... what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase I'm looking for? That's why I've been cheerleading you for quite some time, mate. And I always said that it was nothing to do with because we're friends or because you're a very likable guy or that I know you. It was always, I recognize greatness when I see it. And you are, Tom. You are, Tom. So no, for the record, I'd have a fucking good go, though.
I know, and I'm not doubting that. And I always appreciate when you say
I'll fucking come at you, bro.
It doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unnoticed that you say nice stuff about me, and I appreciate it. But I also deep down think if for whatever reason me and you kicked off a little bit, you still think you could take me, and I like that. I quite like it. I don't mind it.
I'll tell you this: no man alive could fucking. I'm not going to back down, Tom. If it kicked off and things got fresh, I just haven't got. I mean, I would be the bigger man. I'm 44 years old these days. I would be the bigger man. I would be very mature. But if you just lost the plot and attacked me, if, for example, you didn't like some of the jokes, because there's some jokes coming before you come out on stage. Do you know what I mean? At your expense.
I'm fully, mate, I know you pretty well at this point. I know there's some abuse coming my way, and I'm all right with it.
There's a lot of abuse coming, Tom.
I'll brush it off. I'll be a classy guy, like, as always, and I'll take it. No problem.
But if you did attack me, I would have to fight back. I would have to defend myself.
Rightly so.
I don't know how that would go. But you know what I mean? I'd bite your ankles. Anyway, enough of that. So you've been very vocal about Stipe and Jon Jones, right? You were saying to me you think Jones should be stripped. You think Stipe should fight you. Have you heard anything from either of those guys? Has there been anything on social media, anything you've seen in an interview or anything?
Again, nothing. Absolutely nothing. First of all, let me start by saying, when I said Jones should be stripped, I think I messed that up the way I worded it, to be honest. What I meant is he should vacate the belt like the light heavyweights have done and keep the division moving a little bit. But at the end of the day, who am I to tell Jon Jones what he should do? Do you know what I mean? He's an absolute legend of the sport. Same with Stipe. All I'm trying to do, and I've been getting a lot of, you see a lot of online trolls and stuff like that. But, mate, I'm trying to be out there getting my dream fight. Give me a break. I'm trying to fight one of the legends. That's all. I'll fight everybody. I've got another 10 years left in this sport before it's over. I'm going to fight these other guys. I would love to have a crack at these two guys before they retire, like just to get it on my resume. I'm not thinking that I'm better than, I'm not getting beyond myself or anything like that. I just want to crack at the guys that I've been watching for the last 10 years, and I'm a massive fan of the sport. I think it'd be brilliant. That's all. I'm not out there hating on anybody or anything like that. I respect these guys more than anybody could imagine. But, of course, I want to live my dream and step in there and challenge myself against them. Of course I do.
Yeah, no, of course you do, and rightly so. So on that, because I get your point. I get your point. I understand why you're saying that. But I did an interview for USA Today when I was in New York. And the lady asked me, she said, do you not think Jon Jones should be stripped? Right? And I actually went on and I gave a big point why he shouldn't be stripped. Okay, yeah. Obviously this was before you bloody became the champion, and now I'm eating my words type of thing. But I said to the woman there, I said, well, look, listen, Jones is the greatest of all time currently. I'm sure you've got something to say about that, and I'm sure you agree with that actually at the moment. I said, and when you look at the body of work that he's had and all the rest of it, I said an interim champs are brought in for that specific reason. Why should it be stripped? So if I said that to her, I've got to kind of say that to you. And I'm not going against what you say, because I fully endorse and understand why you feel that way. And I kind of get it. And I kind of agree to a certain extent, because it is going to be a very long time before you get to fight Stipe or Jones. Yeah. Do you think that? Do you think you will get either one of them? Do you think you will get the winner?
I don't know, to be honest. But I know you've got to shoot your shot, and sometimes you have to be vocal about it. And it's not usually my style to be out there vocal and calling the shots, this, that, and the other. But as I said, mate, it's my dream, and I think that anyone knocking someone for trying to achieve, get the dream fights and have the dream experience is just silly. Like I would love to experience that before I retire. Sorry, not before I retire, before they retire, and just see how I get on, see how my skills match up against their skills. Because as I said, I'm a massive fan of the sport. It's actually MMA, UFC in particular, is basically the only sport I like. It's the only sport I watch and I'm a fan of, and I know the athletes and I'm interested in. And mate, obviously I'm a heavyweight, and I've been watching guys like Stipe, mate. He's one of my favourite fighters ever. So of course I want to challenge myself against him now, and it's not out the realms of possibility. I'm an interim champion right now, and he's fit to fight, and he doesn't have a fight right now, so why not shoot my shot at that? Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to like get above my station or call out these legends and disrespect them, mate. It's nothing like that. I'm trying to challenge myself and live my dream and go out there and beat one of these guys while I've got the chance.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that or disrespectful in the slightest. And to be honest, I agree with what you're saying. I really do. I love what you said there. You want to challenge yourself. You want to test yourself, because, of course, you could pick some lesser competition and be calling them out right now because they're booked for way next year, but you're not doing that. And I'm not encouraging you to talk shit about people like Jake Paul and all the rest of it. But Jake Paul keeps picking these fucking matchups against retired mixed martial artists, and people ask me, and I always say, well, they're not fighters. And they say, well, what do you mean? I said, well, fighters go into fights not necessarily knowing that they're going to win. They think they can win. They hope they can win, and they go out there and they prepare and they try their best. That's essentially what fighting and competing should be all about, right? Because I'm sure you were confident, but I'm sure you had your nerves about going in there with Sergei Pavlovich.
Mate, of course. And to be honest, that's one of the main reasons that I absolutely love this sport, because, mate, every time you step in there, or not even step in there, or in the process of building up to a fight, and fight week comes around and you have all these wild stuff going through your mind constantly, and you find out who you are in these situations, and it's massive, not just for sport but for life in general. I think like it's a massive vehicle to find out what you're all about mentally in these kind of situations. Like you said, a couple of weeks ago, mate, I was turned up without a training camp, with a bad back, fighting literally the most dangerous guy in the UFC. And obviously there was a lot of doubt there, obviously. But I know now that I can do that. And I didn't know that 2 weeks ago. I had no idea. I was just risking it all and throwing it all in and seeing what I'm all about. And it's nice to find out what you're all about in them situations. And there's plenty of people, mate, sit on the couch, don't do anything, scroll through Instagram all day, start commenting on people's pictures about this, that, and the other. And they have absolutely no idea, mate, what it takes. Absolutely not a clue. And they never, ever will get anywhere near close to challenging themselves in any way because they're scared of failing. And I can sit here now and speak openly and say, I'm not scared of failing because I put myself out there plenty of times at this point. And last time in particular, in the worst case scenario that I could possibly be in. And I overcame that and I won. And I've took a lot of confidence from that. And yeah, there's just a lot of people talk a lot of shit who've got no idea. And it's hard not to be frustrated about that sometimes with guys like Jake Paul, as you say, who are picking the fights and doing all this. Like, hey, I've had 8 UFC fights now. I've not had a say in one opponent yet. The UFC, you can ask anybody in the UFC, anyone who works for the UFC, any of the matchmakers, anything. They send me a fight, I say yeah, and that's how it's worked so far. So if I can have a bit of say now, which I don't know if I can or can't, to be honest, I'm just shooting my shot at this point, but I would love to fight one of the people that I've been a fan of for years before they retire.
I mean, nobody can have an issue with what you just said. I mean, number one, beautiful words, by the way. And I think everyone should listen to you. I mean, I've kind of said the same thing, but you say it far more eloquently than I could ever, Tom.
You're the commentator. You're the commentator.
Well, I was just going to say, you're coming for my job. Can you start stuttering a little bit, please? You know what I mean? Can you start just like blubbering your words like I do and just stop being so perfect in every bloody way, shape and form? My God. Can this version just show up, please, Saturday night? Well, sorry, no, what is it? Thursday and Saturday night.
I'll try my best.
Where do people buy tickets, Tom?
I don't know. It's your show. I'm just tagging along.
myticket.co.uk.
No, that'll do it. myticket.co.uk.
Or what did they search online? What could this possibly search online?
Hey, Tales from the Octagon too. That's easy. Search it.
That's it. I'm going to say one name to you.
Go on.
Ciryl Gane.
Yep. What about
He's been making some noise. He was calling you out.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, if I'm offered it, we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. Like me and him, we're going to fight each other, obviously, at some point before it's over. As I said, ideally right now, I'd like to test myself against one of the two guys who I massively looked up to for years. But, mate, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm willing to fight Ciryl Gane. I've called him out about 50 times at this point. I've been to Paris to watch it. I went to his home city, mate, to watch his event, and he still turned me down. I've done countless interviews saying his name, and he's literally come out saying that he won't fight me. So I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I won't fight him, not at all. But right now, I'd rather fight Jones or Stipe. But if I have to fight him, absolutely no issue, mate. I'll take him out. Yeah.
And we'll see how all that stuff plays out. And I'm sure you will be the first that you inform, right?
You're exclusive, mate. Yeah. Believe you me. Absolutely.
I mean, how many times we had you on the show now, Tom?
Oh, plenty. A lot of times.
I think a lot of your success is down to the exposure from this show.
I definitely agree. 100% I'd agree.
All right, final one. We'll let you go. Nothing to do with fighting, Tom. Obviously, what you've achieved is incredible. And I know you kids.
I've got a long way to go yet, mate. I've got a long way to go. I don't think I've completed the game yet. When I go down as one of the best heavyweights to ever do it, if not the best, that's when it'll be incredible. Right now, I've got an interim title. I'm basically number one contender at this point for the real title, and I'm coming after it, mate. I'm in a really good spot right now, mentally, physically, and everything like that. But by no means am I satisfied. No means. I've still got plenty of work to do.
No, 100%. And I fully agree. And very smart words and a nice approach as well. But fighting aside for a minute, talk to me about what it was like. And I know you said your kids, they don't really understand the gravitas of the situation, but still bringing the belt back to Atherton, Manchester, walking home with the belt. I mean, how's it been now? It's been about 2 weeks? How's the last 2 weeks been for you, Tom?
It's coming up to 2 weeks now, I think, was it? Oh, maybe a bit over 2 weeks.
Yeah, just over, yeah.
Just over 2 weeks, yeah. It's been amazing, I get a bit of a weird look off people when they see me these days. They look like I've seen a ghost or something. I'm like, listen, I've been coming in this shop, like, for example, I go in the local shop. I've been coming in this shop for bloody 20 years. What the hell's going on? But yeah, mate, it's been great. My kids were so happy to see me. But you know the best thing about it all, Mike, I'll be honest, is I flew overnight on the Sunday, the day after my fight. The Sunday night I flew, so I arrived back Monday morning, just before the kids started school, just before they were setting off for school, actually. And they did not give a shit, mate, what I'd just done. I could have got knocked out in 10 seconds. They weren't bothered. They were just happy that Dad was home, asking, will I take him to school? Can we do this after school? Blah, blah, blah. They didn't even ask about my fight, and that's great. Like, I love that about kids. They weren't bothered one bit, my kids, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic. And but the public reception, mate, has been great. Like, for example, I went to a bar on the weekend, just a local bar.
Just a cheeky one or two.
It's a cheeky one or two, as you do, yeah. And I turned around, mate, and the whole bar, literally, the whole bar was trying to get a picture with me at the same time. I was just like, oh my God, this is just, it's crazy, man. It's just absolutely crazy. And I'm so thankful to everyone that supports me. And I'm so thankful as well to everyone that's helped me in any way along the way. You know what I mean? It's a long journey. You definitely can't do it on your own. I've been involved in martial arts for most of my life, and there's been a million coaches and training partners and everything that have been involved with it. I appreciate all of them, every single person that's helped me along the way. It's been amazing.
It's beautiful, mate, and no one deserves it more than you. But I'm going to say piss off, because we got half of the main event of this weekend, Beneil Dariush. Have you met Beneil?
I've not. I'll let you get to it though, boys. I won't interrupt the interview.
Introduce yourself. Be cordial. You're the champion of the world. Represent yourself with the authority. Hi, Beneil. Nice to meet you. My name's Tom.
I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to interrupt the interview. Beneil, very nice to meet you.
Beneil.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Okay, boys. I'll leave you to it.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for your time. Really, really appreciate it, brother. You deserve everything, by the way. Apologies, Beneil. You deserve everything coming your way. You're one of the most stand-up, humble, hard-working, talented guys ever. See you soon. Tales from the Octagon 2. Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, boys. Have a good one.
You're the man, Tom. Beneil Dariush. Here he is, as I said.
What's going on?